We're back. Oh, we're doing another foundation review. You can count on this channel to review all the hyped up, talked about, and new foundation, concealers, basically all the complexion products, because that's what's important to me. New product from Makeup Forever. It is called Watertone. It is a skin perfecting fresh foundation. Without further ado, let's get into this review. So we're gonna start off with our unboxing. I personally like the packaging of this foundation. It is glass, which I don't prefer, but it does come with a pump, which I do prefer, so I like that. The bottle holds 1.35 fluid ounces, so pretty standard for your normal foundation. And the packaging does say to shake it up. Now I just want to note that this is called a foundation, but it's very much in line with a skin tint, the trend that's been going on these days. So just to swatch it, I have shade R530 and it looked very orangey on my hand, but you guys know, like, you can't trust the hand swatch at all. So I noticed that when I was wiping it off my hand, it is very fragranced. It is a very florally smell. So if that is something that bothers you, then I would stay clear of this. And just swatching it on my face, it still looked a bit orangey, looked like it could be off, but it looked okay. Now as we get into coverage, I'm just blending this out with a brush because that's my preferred method usually. It's a very light coverage. That's why I say this is more of like a skin tint. It's not really a foundation, so to speak. So we're going to test the different ways to apply. So on my forehead, I'm going to use my fingers, which I don't typically do. I hardly ever use my fingers to blend out any sort of complexion product, but I know there are a lot of you that do. And I actually didn't mind that. And also for the color, I actually liked this as I start to use it more, especially on my forehead, because my forehead tends to be a little darker around the edges. So it blended in quite nicely there. It almost looked like I just had like a tan or something. So I kind of like that. On my cheek here, I'm going to use a sponge, which I typically am not going for. You guys know I'm usually always using a brush because I feel like sponges soak up a lot of your product when applying a foundation. Again, you can see that the coverage is still super light here. It's not sucking up that much from what I can see. And then on my other cheek, I'm just going to blend out the rest of my cheek with a brush. Which I didn't mind. Again, that scent is super strong. It's very fragrant. I even thought at one point like I was gonna start having a reaction to it. But that's all three ways applying. I think you can use either one. One thing I noticed on the back of the package though is it says that it's transfer proof, and also you can use the top as a little dispenser for the foundation. So I just squirted a bit in there to work with for the rest of the video, which I thought was neat. So I'm going to start off using a brush because that's typically how I like to apply. Like, I always use a brush. But as I started using it more, this is a super watery consistency, you guys. And I just found that it was taking quite a long time with the brush. So if you're short on time, I would definitely go for a sponge. I think the sponge gives you a nice application. It might take up a little bit more of your product, but I just feel like for the consistency of it, a sponge is needed versus a brush or even your hands. You might be taking a little bit longer to blend it in with your fingers. But like I said, the more I used it, the more the color seemed fine to me. So I'm actually kind of liking this at this point. So because it said it's transfer proof, you know we're gonna test it just using a Kleenex, and I was shook. Nothing came off, hardly anything came off. So this is like, I feel like gonna be my go-to for the summer. I'm also gonna do my oil check as well just to see. And I was also shook here as well, you guys. Like, you see, like nothing is on this oil sheet. A little bit of the foundation, but no oil really. I think this is a great foundation for the summertime. It's not gonna transfer and it's not oily. Come on now. So just like the other skin tints on the market these days, this doesn't have a lot of shades. It's meant to fit a wide range of complexions. So just keep that in mind. I think there could have been some darker shades for deeper skin tones. So that's kind of a downside. This is my finished look. I did end up spot concealing a little bit with some concealer just to cover some of my hyperpigmentation. For coverage, it's very light. So if you are one that's needing a full coverage type of deal, this is not the girl for you. But if you want something light for the summertime, I would definitely recommend, because it felt like nothing on my face. It didn't transfer, you guys saw, and the oil was not there. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.